Have you ever felt it? That quiet judgment that hangs in the air on your birthday? It's not a day, it's a test, an annual performance review for your soul, conducted by the world. The balloons, the social media notifications, the forced smiles over a cake you didn't ask for, it's all data. It's a public audit of your social capital, a measurement of your tribe. And when a man chooses silence, when he lets the day pass like any other grain of sand through the hourglass, the world doesn't see it as a choice. It sees it as a failure, a diagnostic error. Why isn't he celebrating? Is he depressed? Is he lonely? Is he broken? But the real question isn't why he's silent. The real question is what that silence means. Because for some, it is the silence of a wound. For others, the silence of a war. And for a select few, it is the silence of a throne. To understand the man who doesn't celebrate, you have to understand the ghosts that haunt him, the battles that forge him, and the kingdom he might be quietly building. Let's begin with the ghost. This is the man who doesn't celebrate because he was never truly celebrated. He is the forgotten child, now wearing the body of a man. Picture him. A boy sitting in a room waiting for a phone that doesn't ring. A party planned that no one attends. A family too distracted by the chaos of their own lives to mark the day he entered the world. This isn't a single memory, it's a pattern. A slow, grinding education in disappointment. In the language of psychology, this is learned helplessness. It's a cage built not of steel bars, but of repeated letdowns. The brain, in its ruthless efficiency, learns a devastating lesson. Hope is a liability. Expectation is the parent of pain. So, to survive, it amputates the desire. He stops wanting a celebration not because he's mature, but because wanting it is a wound that reopens every single year. The day becomes an anniversary of his own perceived insignificance. He treats it like any other day as a defense mechanism. He has built a fortress around his heart, and the motto carved above the gate reads, "You cannot be disappointed if you expect nothing." This man isn't choosing indifference. He is shackled to it. His silence is not peace. It is the scar tissue over an old burn. He has mastered the art of wanting nothing from the world, so the world can take nothing more from him. He has answered the silent test by refusing to even sit the exam. But what happens when the test isn't about the past, but about a brutal, all-consuming present? This brings us to the second man, the soldier. This man doesn't have time for ghosts. He's too busy fighting a war. Look at his life. Deadlines that bleed into midnight. A body pushed to its limits in the gym. A relentless, grinding pursuit of a goal that is always just over the next hill. His life is not a party, it is a campaign. For him, the birthday is not a celebration, it is a distraction. It is 24 hours he could have spent building his empire, sharpening his skills, or closing a deal. The modern world has created a state of perpetual triage, what some call time blindness. His brain is so saturated with mission-critical tasks that a day marked special on the calendar registers as an operational inefficiency. This is not the silence of a wound. It is the silence of focus. He is the soldier in the trenches of his own ambition. He knows, on a primal evolutionary level, that status and security are not granted by well wishes and cake. They are seized through conquest, through relentless forward momentum. A party is a pause, and in his mind, to pause is to fall behind. To fall behind is to die. He views the performative celebration, the mandatory fun, the social obligations as a tax on his most valuable resource, time. It's an opportunity cost he is unwilling to pay. Why spend 3 hours making small talk at a dinner when he could spend those 3 hours forging the weapons that will win him the life he actually wants? His friends and family might see his dismissal of the day as cold or sad. They don't understand. He is not sad. He is at war. He is sacrificing today's comfort for tomorrow's kingdom. His validation doesn't come from a chorus of happy birthday. It comes from the quiet satisfaction of a target acquired, a milestone achieved, a wall breached. So we have the martyr, haunted by the ghosts of a past he cannot change. And we have the soldier, fighting the war of the present. Both of their silences are a reaction to trauma or a reaction to pressure. But there is a third man, a man whose silence is not a reaction at all. He is not haunted and he is not at war. He simply is. What if the silence is not the sign of a wound or the sign of a battle, but the sign of a throne? This is the third man, the sovereign. He is not the forgotten child, because his sense of self was not given to him by others, and therefore cannot be taken away by their absence. He is not the soldier, because he is not fighting for a kingdom, he is already ruling one. His kingdom is internal. This man knows it's his birthday. He feels no pain, no pressure. He simply doesn't require an external ritual to validate his own existence. His mindset is one of profound emotional independence. In psychology, this is the pinnacle of self-determination theory, the state where your well-being is generated from within, not harvested from without. He recognizes the modern validation economy. He sees the desperate performance of happiness on social media, where people broadcast their celebrations, counting likes and comments like a starving man counts crumbs of bread. They are outsourcing their self-worth. They are holding up a mirror to the world and begging it to tell them they are valuable. The party, the gifts, the public declarations, it's all a desperate attempt to feel seen, to feel that their life has weight and meaning. The king sees this not with judgment, but with clarity. He recognizes it as a symptom of a deep internal scarcity. His worth, however, is not up for a vote. It is not decided by committee once a year. He validates himself daily, through his discipline, through the promises he keeps to himself, through the code he lives by. He doesn't need a party to feel celebrated because his life is the celebration. His work is the ceremony. His integrity is the tribute. This isn't loneliness. This is solitude. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. Solitude is the power of being alone. The man who needs the crowd to feel alive is a prisoner of that crowd. The man who can find peace in his own company is free. He has achieved what so few ever do. He has learned to be his own source. And this mindset permeates every aspect of his life. He doesn't crave the spotlight at work. He doesn't need constant praise in his relationships. He moves with a quiet confidence because he is not performing for an audience. He is simply executing his purpose. Does this mean he is an emotionless robot? Of course not. He is human. He loves connection. But he engages with the world from a position of fullness, not from a position of need. If friends want to celebrate him, he accepts it with grace, but the day's significance is not altered by their presence or their absence. He is the constant. Everything else is the variable. So, let's bring this into focus. The three men are not just personality types. They are stages in a man's potential evolution. First, there is the martyr, living in the prison of his past. His silence is a defense, born of learned helplessness. He must learn to heal the wounds of the boy to free the man. Then there is the soldier, fighting the war of the present. His silence is a strategy, born of ambition.